What if the smartest thing you could do when your life falls apart isn't to announce your comeback, but to stop explaining yourself completely? No motivational posts, no dramatic goodbye, no telling everyone about the new business, the new body, the new career, or the person you're becoming. Just quiet work. Because sometimes the most dangerous moment in changing your life happens before you've changed anything at all. It's the moment you start talking about it. And for the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you why keeping your comeback private can make it easier to follow through, the mistake people make when they try to disappear, and 3 rules for rebuilding your life without turning isolation into another form of escape. Because there is a difference between hiding from your life and quietly rebuilding it. Think about something you've wanted to change. Maybe you decided you were finally going to lose the weight. Start the business. Leave the relationship. Write the book. Go back to school. You feel that rush of possibility. Then you tell somebody. They get excited. You're going to crush it. This is your year. I knew you could do it. And something strange happens. For a few minutes, talking about the future version of yourself feels almost as satisfying as becoming that person. The announcement gives you recognition before the work has produced evidence. That's the first trap. You accidentally turn intention into accomplishment, and once other people begin recognizing the person you're planning to become, maintaining that image can sometimes become more important than doing the boring work required to actually become them. That's why some transformations need darkness in the beginning. Not because your friends are secretly against you, not because everybody is jealous, and not because silence has some magical biological power. It's because fragile things need protection. When a seed has just been planted, you don't dig it up every morning to show everyone how much it has grown. You leave it alone. Your new identity sometimes needs the same protection. But this is where people misunderstand the idea of disappearing. They imagine deleting every app, cutting off every friend, waking up at 4 in the morning, drinking black coffee, and transforming themselves into some emotionless machine. That's not rebuilding. Sometimes that's just avoidance with better lighting. You don't need to disappear from your life. You need to disappear from the performance of your life. There's a huge difference. A real quiet rebuild doesn't mean ignoring the people who love you. It means you stop needing an audience for every improvement. You can still go to work, still talk to your family, still see your friends, still laugh, still live. You simply stop giving constant press conferences about what you're becoming. And that changes something important, because now there is nothing to perform. Imagine you've decided to get into the best shape of your life. Public version, new gym selfie, new diet announcement, 30-day challenge, progress updates, motivational quotes. Private version, Monday, you go to the gym. Tuesday, you eat what you planned. Wednesday, you walk even though you don't feel like it. Thursday, nobody knows. Friday, nobody claps and you do it anyway. That's where the transformation actually begins. Not when motivation is high, but when the behavior continues after attention disappears. This is why I think the most powerful comeback strategy isn't 6 months of completely ghosting the world. It's 90 days of becoming boring. For 90 days, follow 3 rules. Rule number 1, don't announce the construction. People don't need a tour while the building is still scaffolding. You don't have to post big things coming. New chapter. Watch this space. I'm focusing on myself. Just begin, because every announcement creates a second job. Now, you don't only have to accomplish the goal, you also have to manage everybody's perception of your progress. And eventually someone asks, How's that business going? How's the diet? Did you finish the course? Suddenly, instead of concentrating on today's work, you're explaining yesterday's promises. So remove the promise. Let the evidence arrive first. Rule number 2. Keep a private scoreboard. Silence alone won't change you. Systems will. Choose 3 things that prove you're moving forward. Not feelings, not motivation. Evidence. If you're rebuilding financially, maybe it's money saved, debt reduced, and applications submitted. If you're rebuilding physically, maybe it's workouts completed, sleep, and nutrition. If you're building a business, maybe it's pages written, calls made, or products shipped. Track them privately, because when nobody else knows what you're doing, you need a way to prove to yourself that you're doing it. Your scoreboard becomes the applause, and rule number 3 might be the most important. Don't turn your comeback into revenge. This is where almost everybody gets trapped. At first, rebuilding yourself can be fueled by anger. You remember the person who underestimated you, the relationship that broke you, the friends who disappeared, the people who looked at you differently when your life wasn't going well, and you think, just wait, I'll show all of you. That feeling can get you moving. But it cannot be where you live, because if your entire transformation is designed to make someone else regret losing you, they still control your life. You're still performing for them. They're simply no longer in the room. The real turning point happens later, maybe 60 days in, maybe 90, maybe a year. You look around one day and realize something unexpected. You don't care if they notice anymore. You don't need the shocked faces. You don't need the apology. You don't need someone from your past scrolling through your page thinking, wow, look at them now. Because somewhere along the way, the goal stopped being proving them wrong. It became proving yourself reliable, and that is a completely different kind of confidence. Confidence isn't walking into a room convinced that everyone will admire you. It's knowing you will keep the promises you make to yourself even if nobody knows you made them. That's the real psychology behind rebuilding privately. You remove the performance, you reduce the explanations, you stop collecting praise for intentions, and you begin collecting evidence. One workout, one application, one page, one saved dollar, one uncomfortable decision, one ordinary day after another, until eventually something strange happens. The version of you that once needed everyone to know what was coming doesn't exist anymore. And when people finally notice that you've changed, you won't need some dramatic reintroduction. You won't have to say, "Look what I did." They'll see it, not because you disappeared, but because while everybody else was watching the announcement, you were working on the evidence. So, if you're rebuilding something in your life right now, try this for the next 90 days. Don't announce it, don't explain it, don't turn it into revenge. Protect it, track it, and quietly become the person you keep saying you're going to be. And if you want to mark the beginning without telling anybody what you're working on, leave one word in the comments. Quiet. No goals, no explanations. Then close the app and give yourself something better than an announcement. Give yourself evidence.